Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be showing you all how I did these boho braids on my natural hair. I am starting off with freshly washed and conditioned hair. Of course, I did let my hair air dry just a little bit so that my plaits or braids will be a little bit more stretched than normal versus doing it on completely wet hair. I am sectioning my hair off in those two sections in the front, and I am getting ready to do my horizontal parts in the back, and I'm going to do my best to get these parts straight, but I promise you they're not going to be. I am going to be using my curl stretch pudding today, as well as the mousse death, and these are the only two products that I will be using to style my hair along with my wet brush. I am going in with the curl stretch pudding and the mousse, putting it right on top. This mousse is going to give these plaits the nice hold, and it's going to define the curls really well. I am braiding tightly because I do want this style to last as long as possible, and then as I continue braiding, I am going to separate small pieces from my larger sections. You know, when you're braiding, you kind of have one of those three pieces feel a little bit larger than the other. That is where I take my hair strands that would be curly away from. And as I get further down, I am going to separate another piece. I decide where I want to separate based off of really just how I'm feeling at that time. It's no braid how many times. Wherever you want your curly pieces to hang, you separate your pieces that way. Make sure that you coil your hair at the ends along with some of that mousse, because that mousse is going to make sure that your plaits do not unravel, and this hairstyle can really last up to 2 to 3 weeks. So after defining those separated pieces, that boho braid is complete. Now I did go ahead and do the first 2 rows in the back. As you all can see, my parts are not straight, they are crooked. And this was definitely not intentional, but I promise you no one will be able to see how crooked the parts are once you complete your braids in the back, so don't stress. And I am going to show you all this process about 4 more times from different angles, so don't worry, I'm going to help you out. Continue to braid, and you're going to want to make sure that you are braiding tightly, because when you separate those pieces, you don't want the braid to unravel. So separate your piece and make sure it is from the largest strand out of the 3 strands at the time, so that your braid remains the same size as you continue braiding down. You're gonna braid as if that piece that you separated doesn't even exist. Now, some people will put these separated pieces inside of their mouth or hold it between their lips. My hair is not long enough for that, and I have seen it irritate a lot of people to do this because they get a little bit of product in their mouth. So maybe this is just gonna work out better. When you get to the end, you can finish off with a twist and really coil those ends. This will add more texture to the boho braid to give it that boho look that we all like. And then after defining those pieces, you move on to the next one and repeat that process all over your head. See, crooked parts where those curly pieces that we separated from the braids really does a great job with concealing the crooked parts. As you all can see, I made sure that I did brits with my sections, and brits is basically making sure that you have braids laying in between the parts before. So you want to make sure that you are putting braids in the middle of your head and that you are forming them in between the gaps, so that you don't have an annoying middle part or side part in your hair. Now it is time to lay these edges, honey. So I am doing this with the Do Mousse. You all know that this has been a favorite product for me to use to lay my edges without using gels or edge controls. So I do that, and I am going to use these black strips to make sure that my hair sets in place. And I'm going to sit up under the dryer. One thing that I have learned is that sitting up under the dryer can really help with stretching the hair, and it just makes it so much easier to go to sleep at night without having so much water in your hair. As you all can see, the dew really laid down my edges, and this boho style is really bohoing. It really gives me Allen vibes, and I really love it. I am going to use 2 bobby pins to secure the hair out of my face because this is how I have been wearing my hair lately. To refresh this style, you only need the Do Mousse to redefine the curls and lay down frizzes. As always, I hope you all enjoyed the video and found it useful, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. See ya!